Zion. I was lost, but now I'm found. I'm a child of Israel. I heard the sound. You hear the sound. Please give me the strength to stand today. With my eyes towards the east, show me the way to Zion. I'm on my knees, laying my life on the line. I'm begging, please don't let me fall. Give me the strength. Place my feet, Lord, guide my path. Show me the way to Zion. I opened up the book and see that the apple of your eye included me. And through the tribulation, I know I must stand for a new heaven, a new earth. Show me the way to Zion. I'm on my knees, laying my life on the line. I'm begging, please don't let me fall.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm Elder Rawchaa with Brother Shapat here, week 10 of your Hebrew and Bible Academy. Let me say a hearty and spiritual hello this Sunday, or the first day of the week, to all the brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth, our extended family. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, make sure everything is good here. Yes, I would like to say all praises again to Ahaya Bahashim Yeshai Warwak, brothers and sisters. We'd like to thank you for your dedication and your continued participation within the academy. For those that have stuck it out throughout the last few months, we're in week 10 now. Mm-hmm. For those who have stuck it out, and I hope this have been a serious spiritual, what I would call, help in your work throughout the four corners of the earth. We pray that the Most High have enlightened you with some understanding to go forward in your spiritual academia, as well as changing lives in your house, in your home, and have you aware of the devices that are against us, so that we can come together and fight spiritually against these forces operating in high places. I would also like to say a blessed thank you to the brothers and sisters in the UK, England, Gaja, the twins, Dwayne and Blaine, on and on and on, Jay, Josh, Jed, just, the brothers in London. I have to sit down and speak with them, but the brothers and sisters are holding it down hard there. And the sisters who've worked, tirelessly to make sure that we were comfortable. They did the best they could, you understand, to to help us encourage and bring forth the truth throughout, all of England, and especially in Manchester. And I thank the Most High for that. Also, it was a blessed Purim, okay? It was a memorial, a time of feasting, a time of song, okay? We also, right after it was done, all the food that was left over, the brothers and sisters in England took all the food out there on the streets and and fed the poor. So, I mean, it was almost mirroring what happened, on a lower level when we were under the Persian Empire. In celebration of being saved, from the hands of that satanic Agagite through the spirit of our sister Esther, who helped immensely through the spirit of the Most High. Well, after it was done, we gave gifts to each other and we gave to the poor. So the brothers and sisters, I mean, what a great gesture in the spirit, and the Most High will repay you, for doing this work and feeding the poor. I'm sure those brothers and sisters out there that were on the streets had no idea that a feast was coming to them. And seeing that's what it's all about. It's about extending the truth. It's about waking up the people and helping in time of need. So all praises be to the Most High. And I thank the Most High that he gave us a safe trip back in preparation for the new month and for the Passover, which is coming, in a few weeks. And brothers and sisters, hey, we are living in a blessed time. We are living prophecy. And, the Most High want us to walk in total confidence of our power. This truth is in stages. First, we're just excited to get the truth, and we're like sponges. Anything that's beyond our captivity, beyond our captive mindset, beyond our captive prison, we soak in like a sponge. You understand? It becomes sweet, but as you begin to eat the truth and eat the word, like it says in Ezekiel 3, it goes down and it becomes bitter in the belly. Because what? The truth is sweet, and opportunities like this to sit before you and for us to engage and build with each other, that's the sweet part. But the bitter part is being able to see and begin to believe it's just too much to cure. You understand? And the responsibility that comes, and I'm not talking about my responsibility. Every individual in this truth has a responsibility to the Most High to finish. So it becomes bitter when you realize, really what we're up against. When it comes to truth and standing for what's right and trying to do the best you can, those that are trying to do right are the small minority in the earth the Most High will use. And brothers and sisters, it can get bitter. But we must lean on each other, stay encouraged, and understand the prize at the end of this. There's a progression in this truth. As you grow, yes, it becomes bitter when you start seeing the bickering, the fighting, and all that. And we were taught to insinuate or to magnify the negative opposed to the positives. You understand? When you look at that, it get bitter, but then it becomes sweet when you realize, what? It is true. Based on all this fighting and dissension, we must be the children of Israel. So I try to find the silver lining even in that. Right? Boy, there's levels. Okay, but we must be encouraged from day to day. Chest to stay. And not be wavered. Not be deterred. We'll win some battles, we'll lose some battles, but we understand who we're fighting for, what we're fighting for. And understand that, brothers and sisters. When you're out there and you're growing and no one knows everything. You don't know everything. So you may run into someone who may stump you in an area or may do this or may that. I'm talking about you. Don't get dissuaded. Study. Stand up and fight. Come back stronger. Know that where you are is the truth. Don't waver. Take what we're instilling in you and go forward. Use it to better your lives, better your children, to better your families, to extend this truth beyond those within this circle right here today. Okay? Take the word. And above all, you understand, we must all be appreciative of the word. Don't be like others out there. They'll get the word and then they'll begin to grow and learn. And then they'll become what? Enemies of those that have actually shown them some understanding through the Most High. Don't become like that. Don't become bitter like that. If it's bitter in the belly, that's an understanding. That's a self-examination, things you have to do to fight and stay strong regardless of adversity. But never become bitter towards your brothers and sisters, your teachers, those that have sacrificed to make sure that you're receiving what you're about to receive today. I would like to say all praises be to the Most High. It's going to be a great Passover. It's going if it be the Most High's will, all of us together in one place praying in praise and thanks to the Most High for sending His Son Christ, Yeshua, to die on the cross. Him becoming that Passover over lamb. That's what it's about. And we're going to all get together and pray and ask the Most High to keep us through this trouble. It's going to be a tough few years that we have to get through. Okay. And the trust we build amongst each other throughout this earth is what will get us through this trouble in the Spirit of Christ. Do not get diverted. Don't let no one sway you left or right. Stay on the path. The Most High woke you up. The Most High have us here. All right, Shabbat. We're in week 10 of our Hebrew and Bible news. Okay, brother. What rhyme I have? Shabbat, what you got?
All right.
All right.
It's funny you should mention the bitterness that comes with seeing, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. Sodom Watch.
Lord have mercy.
This is from the telegraph.co.uk. Title: World's first transgender doll to go on sale this summer. That's a boy on your top left. That's a boy who believes he is a girl.
So a transgender doll?
Yes.
Okay. See, they're going too far here. Let me make this clear anyway. Okay. I've been examining their witchcraft, their sorcery. I'm speaking of the synagogue of Satan. Their programming. You understand? You know, and growing up within a pagan house, you know, I seen my sister's face light up when she cracked open that Barbie doll. Right? Let's just talk about dolls in general, right?
Right.
No one on this earth anywhere cannot tell me that that's not idolatry. Okay, I've seen children crack open that thing, that doll, and it be the bane of our sister's existence. They're sitting there with Barbie doll house and Ken and all that. I'm not just talking about the racial programming in that. I'm talking about the idolatry altogether. Right? It's idolatry. When we should be teaching our children, the Bible says, raise up a child the way they would go. And when they're of age, they will not depart from it. Depart from what? The law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We're supposed to be, and we should be, giving our children the Bible. We have books on the webpage. Sisters did a great job here and over the UK making books with what? Correct biblical characters, not dolls. They can read the stories and now put a correct image or what you would call a correct face and a correct color to the characters according to who they are in the earth today, be it whatever nation. With us as Hebrews, as Israelites. Now, this is idolatry. Now, of course, I heard, something beyond my total understanding how a brother would make a doll of himself and sell it and all that. I don't even want to go there.
Right.
I wish someone would say, yeah, you think we can sell a few of these dolls? Well, what? Get out of my face. Straight, and it's idolatry. Now, I'm looking here, and what? It's part of the programming. This is the next phase for Sodom and Gomorrah's programming. First, they started with what we were used to, mommy and daddy. Well, that have changed through social programming and socializing and moral degradation of a society now. They have done what? They have broken the family as a pretext to introduce queers, sodomites, demon-possessed, non-repentant, hurt people are over the masses. See, they had to break the family first. They were behind it the whole time. In Romans, the first chapter, it talks about this. How they become backbiters, whispers. Believe it, through the media, they've been working the whole time to actually have us relate to family as something damaging, dysfunctional. They did that on purpose. Why? Why? Because if we stand up and say, well, the Bible says this according to the Most High, now they can come behind us and say, well, the Bible also says this according to family. And you all are not doing what the Bible say according to husband and wife. Look how many divorces there are. Look how much fornication abounds without admitting their part in promoting it over media and over schools and over institutions to our children. See? So they needed to break down the family first publicly and have us humiliate ourselves publicly so that now preachers can stand up with a talking point for either side and make it even. And say, well, listen, I don't think any of us can say anything up in here when I'm in the meetings hearing what's going on with this man and with this woman and people doing this and doing that down low and this, that, and the other. Right? So they purposely demoralized or stained the spiritual content, the spiritual power of family. They stained it on purpose so that now it can be just another conversation along with them. But here's the scary part. Who are they targeting here? See, and these are heathens. Only heathens would abuse this boy only satanic heathens would have abused this boy like this. This boy been abused. He been raped. Where's his parents? Here it is. If we inform our children and their parents about the death of vaccines, they'll look to snatch our child away saying that we're unfit. Where are the parents? This child was probably adopted by sodomites. That's the new family now. And we are we're sitting down, totally filled, with no defense for our children. We're sitting back just saying, well, listen, as long as it doesn't happen in my house, live and let live. You see what happens when we live and let live? Okay. It's not just going to be the heathen's child or the other nation's child. Okay, look what they're doing to our men. There's a shortage of men, and now women are turning to women. Sodom and Gomorrah, which is really the last sign before fire rains down. Okay, now of course, are they going to sell many of these at all? No, it's not even about that. It's about putting that perception, that understanding, acclimating us to their satanic wicked ways. Right. Satanists are behind this. Ain't nobody going to buy this junk.
Right. And as well, if I can,
go ahead.
Piggyback on what you mentioned.
Come on.
About no one really buying it. With that point, each, so-called doll, the reason why they have sales is because, they're supposed to have a story behind the doll. Like, this doll is the adventure doll. This doll is, the business doll or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So now, just like you're mentioning, it's not even about the sales per se for this doll, but the fact that the story is there behind the doll as a transgender option now for dolls. You understand?
I mean, it's a shame because why? We're looking at victims here. And we're just dealing with the talking points the media is putting out there for us and ignoring the fact that this person is been victimized. Mm-hmm. And on top of this young kid going to grow up with a thwarted understanding of family and believe that what happened to him was normal and will do this to a young boy when he gets older.
You almost took the words right out of the article. Check it out.
Yeah.
Check the contradiction in terms, right? This is a transgender doll. However, quote, it's still just a regular doll because that's exactly what I am, a regular girl. This is what the boy says. So on one hand, they're trying to say this is a regular doll, but then on the other hand, it's being promoted as anything but regular in that it's a so-called transgender doll.
It's a shame. It's like, you can't even blame the boy. It's a shame. You can only pray for the young man.
Right.
But you can't even blame the boy. He's been violated. And they'll throw you out a few caveats of stories to make you believe that the government cares about busting pedophilia rings or Pizzagate. These are all distractions. Mm-hmm. The whole world, the whole satanic world's government are pedophiles. Mm-hmm. It's part of their Moloch worship to child sacrifice to this particular god. They feed the monster with children. The monster is the beast, and the beast is government. Come on.
Right. Next up.
Yes.
This is crazy. Next up, right?
Man, this is like Satan's spawn right here.
Wow, it's funny you should mention Satan's spawn, right? Because you know who this lady is?
No. I see NBC.
Okay, she's on the Morning Joe, the breakfast program for, what's it, NBC?
Okay, the NBC breakfast program.
NBC's breakfast
the
program.
morning show, yeah.
Right.
Go on.
Well, her name gives it away. This peon that looks like the spawn of Satan.
Brzezinski.
Okay, Speak New Brzezinski on your bottom left screen. Now, the name of the lady in pink, her name is Mika Brzezinski. Yes, the daughter of Speak New Brzezinski.
To show you the satanic circle continues through, and they put their children and all that, the next generation, in position for the satanic programming.
Right, exactly. Now,
and then the guy next to her is a sodomite.
Right. He's also the co-host on the breakfast show. Right? Check this out. More background to the so-called fake news stories that you hear in the media, right?
Yeah.
This is from Zero Hedge, and the title says, "The MSNBC anchor spills the beans. Our job is to control exactly what people think." Now, here's what she said in response to a question, right? She said, "Well, I think that the dangerous in relation to Trump, they want to push this idea out there that there's, checks and balances. I think the dangerous, that he is trying to undermine the media," speaking about Trump, trying to undermine the media and trying to make up his own facts so much that he can actually control exactly what people think, and that that is our job. So right there, even though you've got to be careful with that double talk, it's still exposing the fact that few times due to human error, she spilled the beans that, listen, the media's point is to control what people think.
Now, why did she put that out? Normally, a news circulation would never say such things without being fired. But what's going on here? It's called bait and switch. The majority of the people out there, brothers and sisters, know now, through the awakening, through the power of the Most High. It was the Most High that began to wake us up out of sleep. He did that. I know we would like to attribute it to this, to that, and the other, and the phenomenon or the way in which the Most High did it, and magnify that. But it was the Most High, because everything is a prophecy according to the Most High's will in the scriptures. He said that, okay, at this time, an angel will come down and this will happen. An angel will come down and an angel fell and this happened. And these are time stamps, right? And it tell you in the book of Daniel, he says, shut up the book until the times of the end. And at the very end, what? People will run to and fro and knowledge shall increase. So if it was shut up for a time, the Most High would begin at the very end, before delivering his people, pour out his spirit. Right? So when he began to wake us up, he started slapping us up. Back, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Look, the devil is ruling you. The devil have been programming you, have been teaching you. Right? He began to slap us up, throw water on him. You wake up. And now what? The first thing we begin to examine is our education and what? Our news. We've always been lied to. Brzezinski, all of them understand that. They understood the time of prophecies and what they did. They're dealing with a transition now. Based on that. They don't care where you get the programming from, as long as they control the programming. So here it is. It's a bait and switch. We started the moon landing. We all know that's a bunch of garbage. No one ever landed on the moon, okay? Why? How many years has it been? Since 1970 or 1969 or whatever. They can't go back to the moon now with more advanced technology? So if you can't go now, what make you think that we believe you went back then? So we starting to get it all together. Somebody jumping around on some dust in a desert of Nevada somewhere, making you believe in black and white that, look like a bad production. Now that we can see. But back then we were totally asleep, right? Everything we seen on the news, every bit outside of what you've seen in your particular area growing up, has been a lie. They've been controlling the talking points. They've been controlling us and sucking us in. Okay? But now it's the bait and switch. They used Alex Jones for a time. They say, Alex Jones, let's put out a few things anyway that people are going to find out when the Most High wake them up anyway. But we need to control this awakening. Knowledge shall increase. But knowledge is what? Knowledge can be good and evil. See? So they realized the prophecies concerning the Most High bringing forth certain understanding, and that the people was going to wake up and say, you know what? We've been lied to. And then the first thing you begin to do, right, as part of your transition, is to blame and confront the liars. They knew this. So they had Alex Jones sitting there waiting, pointing out all the things our parents, that the women were finding out already. They were taking their children to get vaccinated. And now the children are coming out with eczema, skin diseases, cancer, leukemia, you name it. So he started bringing experts on the show talking about this. And our parents, the women and the sisters and brothers in the hood began to wake up even before that and saying, you know what? I noticed my child was screaming all night after I took him to get those shots. Right? So they used him for what? A bait and switch. They used him. at a transitional time when we should have been seeking and thanking the Most High, we started looking strictly at what they would deem conspiracy. Now, they have actually labeled that conspiracy and demonized that word so that we don't realize that it's conspirators conspiring against us. Okay? They use the word that they're actually doing and demonize it so that we can't use it against them. Right? He's a conspiracy theorist. Right? Right after that, what happens? He start moving from the 911 thing, which everyone know that a plane is so light it cannot go through steel bars and implode 3 buildings from the base, all the way from the top to the base. We know that's an impossibility. So they used him to say, you know what? We're going to have you come with that narrative and all that. Just talk about 911. We're going to do that switching bait there. When really, that's not really the deal. The deal is, the real conspiracy is, who's God's people? So he started dealing with talking points that we were going to get the understanding on anyway. I knew when I twisted up a $20 bill in 2000, in 2001, that the Twin Towers was on the bill. As soon as it happened. After it happened, one guy showed me, said, listen, you know it's on the, and it 2002, 2001, right after it happened, they showed me a bill from the year 2000 where the Twin Towers were on fire.
On the $20.
On a $20 bill.
9 plus 11.
9/11. The same number they had us used to calling. 911. You think it's by chance they named the emergency was 911? They was actually instilling the plot that would lead to Jacob's trouble in our minds. All the time. So the switching bait. Barack Obama, now he'll be transitioning into a higher position. Watch. He's going to be utilized as an ambassador for the United States. And that's why they're demonizing Trump so that he can be the buffer, to calm black people down for a while. Watch. You're not done with Barack. But all in all, the switching bait was what? For this woman to come out and say, well, we're supposed to be programming. It seems like he's doing it so. Right? So now, we're not listening to the news no more. He's obviously Donald Trump. Believe it or not, he reads a teleprompter too. It's good cop, bad cop.
Right.
He's calling out the news. So we're going to switch the narrative where we'll control people directly from those or him who's opposing the news. Since everyone know that we're fake news and liars anyway. Right? So let's have them publicly call out mainstream media, even though mainstream media is dead already anyway.
Right.
Because the Most High woke us up in spite of their fake, false paradigm that kept us controlled for so long. So they just switching it to Donald Trump now. So whatever he brings is against mainstream. Are you kidding me?
Right. The president.
Are you kidding me? He's being briefed. He's Zionist controlled. Okay? He's banker controlled. And they flat out and said, I'm going to get that clip. They flat out said, listen, there was the option. Should we kill him?
Right. Or keep him alive.
Or should we keep him alive and use him?
Right.
Him being in so much debt. He has celebrity. Let's use him. They gave him a TV show for a few years just to put him in the public eye. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, the Zionists control the corporation called the United States. Who are the Zionists? They're the people that say they are Jews and are not according to Christ, but are the synagogue of Satan. Okay? So yes, fake news is finished. Why? Because brothers and sisters want news instant anyway. You're getting your news like right now. And you'll never get news like this. You know, on mainstream CBS, ABC, and Time Warner, which is another company that owns CNN. Right? The place that's being called fake news, they always did fake news, right? Sandy Hook and all that fake garbage, right? They went from Time Warner, that owns CNN, also owns InfoWars. Alex Jones. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's always been fake news, brothers and sisters, and it was always aimed towards you. Okay? Now, what are we telling you this? Are we telling you this to get up and revolt and march and all that? No, that's what they would like us to do.
Right, to engage.
Okay? Just understand. This is their platform. This is Satan's world. He rules the fourth beast. The fourth beast is Rome. America is an extension of Rome. Okay? So you can't beat the power. It's their time. Their time is up. But no sense in revolting. No sense in doing all that. You want to beat the system? Come back to the Most High. Follow his law. Do what's right according to the Most High. Okay? Become self-sufficient spiritually. Let's begin to help one another. Let's not point to what they're doing. They're the devil, of course. What will they do? But as soon as we point, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. That's what they always done. Okay? But while we point to what they're doing, we're not getting anything finished. And that's why they would rather you. And I tell you, like I said before, if they didn't have a black supremacist group they could rival against the KKK, which they created, they would create one. Let's not focus on, they're going to be what the Bible says they are. The problem is we're not doing constructively with what the Most High has given us. We're in the awakening. Now we must turn within and say, you know what? It's time to operate as the kings and priests on this earth. It's time to operate in this earth as if the earth, according to prophecy, belongs to us. That's what time it is now. It's not time to just getting some scriptures to know what's what. It's time to live out and show the world, the children of Israel, God's people under Christ, is right. We're here and we're right. We're not going to be evil and wrong because others have done things to us. We're going to be regal, royal, a royal priesthood, like Christ said his blood was shed for, and represent the truth. We're going to empower each other through this Holy Spirit. And it's not just going to be prayer. Prayer works. But it's going to be us exercising the word opposed to just reading it. That's going to change everything. So like I said earlier, the truth is stages. You understand? And when I examined that, I had to pray to the Most High for myself and talk and say, you know what? It's stages. It's time that even, because I went through some of these stages. The stages of calling a white man a devil. That was just a normal progression. I needed to get it out when I was a young man. I felt that was the move. Right? But it's time to graduate or to educate ourselves spiritually to what we're supposed to be according to Christ. For self and spiritual and physical preservation. We must operate like kings and priests. These are all stages. So I begin to understand what our brothers and sisters are going through that are waking up right now. And they try to get that out. They may go here and go there and I understand it, but we're too late in the game.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I understand it, but we're too late in the game. It's time to operate like priests. If you own this and understand you own this, which the Spirit of the Most High, his word is truth, the Spirit he gave you, you will use the Spirit constructively. Okay? And understand that when he say the earth is yours, yes, he was talking about the nations too. Eventually, the nations will serve Israel. Okay? So a king don't sit there. You did this to me. You did that to me. Don't beat me no more. Nah. You operate in a regal posture. Yeah, you did that. The Bible said you would do that because of my forefathers. So it wasn't your power that had you do what was done to me. Mm-hmm. It was my power. It was my God. I was wrong against my God. So you're weak. Mm-hmm. If I come back to my God, you become small. You're no longer a victim. Mm-hmm. I'm no longer a victim to you anymore. I was victimized based on the sins of my forefathers, but now I know who I am. You have no bearing. Me magnifying you as this big monster beating down on me is minimizing the power of my God. Mm. You're small. They're weak. These weaklings, they sacrifice and rape children. They're weak. And we sit there talking about, oh, the white man, he did this to me. Oh, he did that to me. And when my God come back, he gonna get him. No, it's time to operate in a regal fashion now and understand the world belongs to us. His blood was already shed. That's right. Okay, the kingdom is already established. It just didn't come here yet. It's finished. That's the spirit we must walk in preparation for the kingdom to come. Mm. We must be kings and priests and not let our surroundings and the oppression of this world divert us from our true position. We must operate as the Most High see us. He see us as Israel, the prince and princesses. Yes, you sisters are princesses of the power. That's how he sees us. Come on, let's go. What we have next?
Next up, so we're moving from fake news, and with the fake news, let's check this out. This is from RussiaToday.com. This is a 2-part series. Following this is going to be Muhammad Ali,
his son, yeah.
Right? So first up, let's deal with the UK.
Yeah.
This is all dealing with the face of terrorism.
Yeah.
12 years after £1 million payoff by the UK government, British ex-Guantanamo resident turns up as dead so-called ISIS suicide bomber. So that's a whole lot of double talk within the article itself. Okay, number one, the family, when they spoke to the family, he didn't even receive £1 million in a so-called compensation payout from the UK government. According to the family, he was one of 4, and the total for all 4 was £1 million or thereabouts. So you split that by 4, it's not £1 million. That's number one. Number two, check this out. It says from the family right here, after finding out he was a so-called ISIS, which don't exist.
There's no such thing as ISIS. Don't believe it.
Right. This is what the family said in response to the media putting this idea out there, right? They said they blamed his treatment at Guantanamo Bay, where he was held by the U.S., for his subsequent involvement with the terror group. In a nutshell, what they were saying is, because he was at Guantanamo Bay, they trained him to then go and be with so-called terrorists abroad. Here it gets deeper, right? Before he was supposedly killed as a suicide bomber, okay, abroad, right? Check this out. It says, before that, he had an interview with the BBC, right? Speaking about his time in Guantanamo Bay, right?
Okay.
It says he also spoke of his determination to sue for compensation, and was revealed the Americans were only convinced he had a clean criminal record, that's why they let him go, because he worked for the MI5. So again, his family is saying that because of his time over, in Guantanamo, that's why he went and did what he did. Okay, number one, because the government told him to do it, is the point I'm trying to say here. And number two, his own words in an interview said He was part of MI5, which is the British so-called CIA equivalent, the Secret Service in the UK. Okay, the intelligence community in the UK, MI5. He worked for them.
Now check that.
That's the
out.
first. That's the first part. I know you got something
No,
to
no,
say
go
on
on,
that.
go
That's
on.
the first part.
Come on
the face of terrorism, right?
Yeah, now it's face of terrorism.
Right.
Look who the face of terrorism is that our Lawchaa right there?
Well, his name is. Check out what his so-called name is now.
It's a shame.
After conversion, right? Where's his name here? With, you know how they switch their names, right?
Yeah.
Where's his name here? Al Harif. Right? Next up, and that's in the UK. Now let's deal with America, right? And the so-called Trump, Muslim ban, all the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
Check this out. This is from theguardian.com. Title, U.S. border agents asked Muhammad Ali's son, yes, as in the box in the top left, his son.
Yeah, Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, go on.
Ask him on re-entry from Jamaica during so-called Black History Month, are you a Muslim, and detain him for 2 hours.
Are you a Muslim? Now, hold up. Are you kidding me?
It ain't about being a so-called Muslim, because millions, not thousands, millions of people from India and Pakistan who are Muslims, okay, and don't look like this brother right here, okay, are flying into America in droves.
Are you Muslim? Flying back, brother.
From Jamaica.
Listen. While flying back from the United Kingdom, from Great Britain, Manchester, there was a Muslim woman checking the bags. Right. An Arab woman, Muslim. It was clear she was Muslim. You can see her with the little thing, whatever she had on or whatever. Little scarf thing on the side. And she was doing it with an attitude too. Right? You seen her back there, the one they're checking there, and I don't know what they're doing with these let's check the bags things and the little swab they use. Guess what? Nothing is happening, brothers and sisters. All of these narratives that they claim that for financing the TSA and all that, all of that is theater. The underwear bomber, that didn't happen. The shoe bomber didn't happen. None of that. It's all propaganda. There is no Al-Qaeda. There is no ISIS. It's all programming. I'm going to show you what it is, though. It's the last step before engaging Jacob. That's what it is. They knew what they were doing when Fard Muhammad came over and taught Elijah Muhammad. They knew what they were doing. They needed to transition people into what? Islam. Because Ishmael, like it says in Psalms 83, is in league with his brother Esau. The Saudis and the so-called Romans, the quote-unquote Jewish powers, Jewish people and Roman people are the same thing. The Roman Catholic Church and the Jewish people are the same family. Okay? So they had to do it. They say, you know what? These people believe in the Bible. They're going to begin to realize that they're the people of the Bible. They're going to be able to relate to the oppression that's written of in the Bible concerning them. We must split them up. And they sent in a Jewish cat by the name of Fard Muhammad to introduce Islam as the new way to liberate black people. To now, because they weren't going to Muslim to convert Muslims. They was going to what? People that grew up down south in the north, Christians, people who believed in the Bible. They were now splitting us up. Giving power to them as Islam. Talk about this is the religion to liberate black people. Are you crazy? They were going to use this to demonize us. Who do you think they're giving homage to? These are all agents. The same way Bin Laden is an agent. The same way Anwar al-Awlaki are all agents. Who do you think are coming to your neighborhoods, converting you into Islam, getting you out of the only book that talks about you? These are CIA agents, brothers and sisters. That's what they are. And they set up mosques and get you beating your head on the floor to a rock. So that now they can step back and say, yeah, here are the terrorists right here. Here they go. The Arabs have always been terrorizing us. They were killing us before the so-called white man was. So here it is. They have demonized us. They set the whole thing up. At the end of the day, who the terrorists now? They don't ask Arabs, are they Muslims? Because that would be what? Profiling. Are you Muslims? I thought there was a freedom of religion. It's a trap. It was always a trap. We said it years ago on the street that our people will be the new face of terrorism. All this garbage they doing, they put it out there claiming it's Arabs, knowing that our people don't care about long as it's them and not us.
Right.
But if you allow these things to go on and don't stand and say, well, listen, I don't care what, okay? I'm not dealing with none of this. I'm not dealing with my rights being taken. I'm not dealing, because I'm already a frog in a boiling pot. We started agreeing with it and started believing their fake news. And now what? The narrative has been shifted against Jacob. Why? Because the Jewish people know we're waking up. It was their plan, along with the Arabs, to do what? To squeeze us and enslave us at the very end. Like it says in Revelations 2, 9, and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Their whole plan was to enslave and kill us the whole time, after building their satanic Masonic construct. But the Most High has a plan, a greater plan. The same power, which is a miracle in itself, that have instilled light and truth in the children of Israel, that's waking us up. You can't stop this. That same power will operate before your eyes and save Jacob right before your eyes. You're only seeing the manifestation of the truth within us now, speaking, but it will become present. That same power that woke us up and gave us the truth will save us. And you know what? We're not scared. See, it's the fear that puts us in subjection, like it says in the book of Hebrews. The fear of death keeps us in subjection. Well, that doesn't work anywhere, anymore. Why? I found out that the image of the Most High and the power of the Most High is eternal. Okay? These shells, they're temporal. But what's in us was from the beginning, brothers. Okay, you cannot kill us. We come back stronger and stronger. And guess what? After seeing all of those children all over the earth that's waking up, every place we go, hey, we've multiplied ourselves exponentially through the Spirit of the Most High. And these children don't eat pork. They don't want your stinking vaccines. Everything you feared while poisoning our children is happening. You feared a generation that would wake up without paganism. You feared a generation of children that would not wake up sick due to your poisonous vaccines. You feared children reading and revering the characters and the people and the prophets in the Bible as their own. And reverencing the Bible and the characters of the Bible as their own. You feared it. So I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, it's manifesting. The Spirit of the Most High has manifested. And it has multiplied us exponentially already. Hey, when we went to the UK, guess what? It was only myself, my lawyer, and a few of my family. Now look, all the children singing, a higher, 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 a higher. Children everywhere. Come on, what we got next? Praise the Most High.
Next up.
On one point before
Yes.
you continue,
Go ahead.
that point you made earlier about them using Islam specifically to demonize us.
Yeah.
Before Far Muhammad came along, you remember that Albert Pike in the 1800s stated that the last narrative would be Islam versus the West.
Exactly.
World War III.
The last narrative in the Illuminati's plan under Albert Pike would be the plot of the Muslim against Christian world.
Exactly.
That was part of their narrative. And then here it is. We didn't start any of it. We didn't start Christianity, not this satanic Christianity. Hey, I'm a pre-Constantine Christian. I know nothing of this Roman garbage. And I'm going to tell you this right now. When we go and deal with the people we got to deal with, these so-called theologians, these so-called people that deal under the Jesuit doctrine, the first thing I'm going to say is, listen, I'm not here to cite any of the devils you've learned from. So if you pull out a devil that came in the 1700s, he's still a devil. So I don't care what books you pull out or what devil you quote, okay, that came before you under the Jesuit order. I'm dealing with the doctrine of the Most High and strictly the Bible. So you can pull every devil out of your behind you would like in this discourse. Because why? Them same devils you talking about that are supposed to be spiritual men and people of Christ raped our women and were lying to us. Okay? Back then. So just like I wouldn't trust them then, I don't trust you as an authority over the Bible to discourse with us now. Okay? We're going to pull it all out when we deal with these characters next month. All right? But all in all, like you said, that was part of it. We didn't start this Islam garbage they're teaching. We didn't start this Roman Christianity they're teaching. Christ knew nothing of this Roman Christianity. A matter of fact, he warned us against this Roman Christianity. And now they're going to try to blame us for being Muslims now. They want to blame us when we didn't start none of it. Now, we're Muslim extremists. The plot was never against Arabs, brothers and sisters. The plot was against Jacob the whole time. The Arabs can't stand you. And I'm talking about any Arab, because there are Arabs that are ignorant and have been lied to, just like our people. The majority of them, they're not as smart as a nail, okay, that we ran into. Okay, but all in all, I'm talking about the authorities. Those that are in authoritative position over in the Middle East. They hate our guts. Why? As long as there's blood running through our veins and a child being born, we're one step closer to a promise that they want, that they've always desired. Them and Edom. Okay? This is going to be a good year. I'll tell you that right now. This is going to be a great year. Why? Because it's not just us waking the people up, brothers and sisters. Through the Spirit of the Most High and the organization of the Most High's church, you're going to be waking people up. Here it come. Come on. What we have next now?
Next up here.
Yes.
We have, let me give the link.
Yes.
AnonHQ.com. ANONHQ.com. The title is Sony Patents a Contact Lens that takes pictures and records video when you blink. Now in the image, I have put some TV shows from a series called Black Mirror. Okay, one of the episodes was this guy, and he's in the bottom left of your screen. He had contact lenses, and the whole point of the TV show is a so-called sci-fi futuristic spin on the world. And in this particular episode, with the guy on the bottom left screen, everyone's life was recorded, and they could recall moments, you understand? So therefore, people lived better. They had better memory. So therefore, their skill set was better, right? But Sony is now actually in the process of delivering such technology. And also, this comes maybe 5 years in the making, if not more. This thing called Google Glass, which is these glasses on the bottom right screen.
Okay.
where supposedly, you know, you can record things. You got the internet come up on the little screen right there on the glass. Sony has this. And how it's powered also links into the mark of the beast, because this is something that goes on your eye like a contact lens, okay? Has memory in it and everything. But how it's powered, because obviously you're not going to have a battery on your eye, okay? But how it's powered wirelessly, okay?
That's crazy.
I don't know if you have anything to say on that.
That's beast mode. Go on, what's next?
Last beast mode. Again, Uber. I'm going to stick on Uber for a few, and you know, we've put it out there that Uber is the, you know, have what they call it, a side hustle or side job. Get your side hustle on when they be advertising for you to drive for Uber.
It's quite efficient.
Right.
Like you see that symbol. That symbol is you checking in and not checking out.
Right. Now, what I've also thrown in there the image of these FEMA coffins, okay, that was in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. What else is going on?
I remember them in I think Macon, Georgia. They was in Phoenix, Arizona too?
Yes.
Oh man, go on.
Now check it out. What else is going on in Arizona? It says here, starting today, and that was reported 21st of this month, starting today, residents of Tempe, Arizona can hail a self-driving Uber. Okay, all trips will include 2 Uber engineers. So all you drivers, as much as it's good for extra money, understand that you are just giving free publicity for Uber, free advertising for Uber, free what they call market penetration for Uber. You are marketing for Uber for free. You won't have a job soon enough when these vehicles are driverless. And in the interim, there won't be drivers in the car. There'll be so-called engineers.
What you mean engineers?
Engineers. Uber engineers. People who built the technology and understand the so-called driverless technology. Currently, under current laws, while it's being tested on the road,
so
they are required by law currently to be in the cars. Not regular, I've downloaded the Uber app.
So they did this to transition us into a convenience.
Exactly.
Claiming that it was to stimulate the economy for those who don't have work.
Exactly.
They were able to bump up the numbers of unemployment because everyone is working Uber just to get a few bucks. So now it's inflating that employment number to make you believe people really have jobs.
Right.
But hey, if you're driving Uber, then that means other jobs that were readily available. I'm not talking about the part-time things, people that's doing this full-time. That means without this technology, you would have been unemployed. So they're inflating the unemployment numbers. I was checking that out also. Right. I mean, the employment numbers to make you think the economy is stable or all right. But on top of that, they're transitioning people to get used to a convenience by putting taxis out of business. Mm-hmm. And then by default, Uber will be the only affordable option. Same thing they did with Walmart. Okay, what they did with Walmart, they went and made a contract through NAFTA to sell cheap goods made in companies with countries where there's no labor laws. So then America could buy everything cheap. But by doing so, it put mom and pop out of business. The mom and pop stores, you don't see them no more. Retail stores, everything is online, put them out of business. Mm-hmm. So they lower the price, give you better products to some degree in a lot of areas, all the new stuff for a cheaper price. But by doing so, they're doing what? They're boxing out the middleman or the low man. Same thing here. Cab drivers, hey, you got to go. Okay, and I know a lot of cab drivers. Some paid $500,000 for medallions that are worth nothing in New York. Okay, look at the medallions, 100, 200,000. You can't even buy one for a nickel now. Medallions. They're gonna put cab drivers out, and guess what? Everyone is saying it's so. I mean, yes, it's a very efficient thing to have something pop up in 2-3 minutes, but then they're gonna regulate it to a point where it's gonna slowly move people out of the way because they're not taxing you like they're going to yet. And people are going to say, well, I can't do this. I can't afford it. I'm not making no money. I'm like, don't worry about that. And next thing you know, sooner or later, you're going to see hired technicians working instead of you. And no one will know the difference. It's just, what? A bait and switch. And eventually, you got a real agent driving you. Where? To a permanent room with no rent. All right, last but that concludes the news, but I wanted to show one thing real quick, right? Because someone sent me an email on some confusion that somebody is trying to propagate against the church, okay, and the calendar. All right? So I'm going to let you know this, brothers and sisters. We did the calendar as a service to you. Number one, the whole world under the Jewish power has been following the moon 354 days, wherein the year come in, 10 days early each year. So we're not following the holy days at a fixed time each year according to Sabbaths.
Right.
Enoch breaks the whole thing down. The Book of Jubilees breaks it all down. And we have all the scriptures and everything here in the calendar. But of course, I heard that there's a person out there claiming that the calendar is off, and that's not true. Okay. Number one, the last day of every year is on a Sabbath. There's 52 Sabbaths. Mm-hmm. The new year starts what? It starts on Saturday sundown. Let me show you the calendar. I'm going to bring the calendar to you here. See? Look at this here. The new year. See that? The seventh day, Saturday, sundown. See that? Is that clear?
It's a bit blurry.
A little bit blurry?
There you go.
Can you see that?
There you go.
That's the 11th Saturday sundown, which is what? The first day of the year, which is March 11th, 2017. And on the calendar, it reads, let me read, Calendar Key Guide. It reads, see it?
Let me read it.
Yeah, read it.
Calendar Key Guide. All Sabbaths are from Friday sundown until Saturday sundown.
Every day of the calendar that is showing you, when you see the date, that's a sundown. Okay? So no, the calendar is not off by one day. That is a lie. There's a person with some type of perpetual fixation on this church, bringing forth straight out lies to deceive those who are fairly young and don't know anything and may calculate or be confused and get frustrated and say, well, I'd rather deal with nothing at all. This person, brothers and sisters, we don't even know. We've met in the span of probably a few hours in our lives. But this person is fixated on us, and we're doing the work, and they're not doing it to dissuade us, okay? Because it's clear. This calendar is 100% correct. 364 days according to the Most High. The last day is a Sabbath, and the first day is Saturday sundown for the new year, which is the 11th Saturday sundown, which means this calendar is 100% correct. And when you follow it that way, the Passover, the second week of this calendar, is what? The Passover. Passover is on Friday sundown. The Feast of Unleavened Bread, Saturday sundown, every year. So we don't have to fix this calendar from year to year. It fixes itself. See? It's 364 days after equal parts night and day. So we've done a lot of research before going into this. This is the Most High's word, and he wants us to understand the times according to Sabbaths so that we can get back on time outside of the Babylonian influence when they begin to worship and operate with the moon. That's why Jewish people have what? A Babylonian calendar named after Babylonian months. Why? They follow the Babylonian Talmud and they worship the moon. So each year, the Passover is going to be on a different day of the week. They'll throw you off. But what you can't throw off, the cycles of the constellations, the heavenly tables. They can't throw that off. They don't control the cycle of the sun and the moon and the stars. I wanted to put that out there for you, brothers and sisters. And there's a lot of good things in here. A lot of good things in here. I mean, it even gives you the cycle and everything. So let me put this out there. Before you hear, you're going to always have some people try to attack and try to undermine. Before you believe anything they have to say, go to gatheringofchrist.org and read it and see it yourself. Right? And don't do it to go back with that person because obviously this person wants attention. Just do it for yourself so you'll know what you're dealing with there. Do not go back and forth with this person. This person will never stop. There's a demon on this particular person. Don't go back. They want that. Why do they want it? Think about it. Okay, think about this for a moment. Look at the videos they title with GOCC in it. And look at the videos they do without mentioning us. And look at the views. That's why they do it. Because they can pump up views, whoever this person is, right? After they pump up views, what they'll do? They'll advise you go see what they have. And if they can get one or two people out of it that was following the church, it's a win-win. Okay, because nobody's listening or following what they're doing. So it's undermining and it's attacking, and the Most High will deal with it very soon. But all in all, you don't get caught up in that. When someone told me that, I'm like, how can it be incorrect? It's right on 364 days after equal parts night and day. The new year starts on the first day of the year, which is Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown. And the year ends on a Sabbath. So how can it be wrong?
Right. No half week, no.
No, it's not half. It's not in between. So it's so simple that it can't be wrong. Right. It's 364 days, in which is increments of 7. So if the first day of the week starts Saturday sundown, the first day of the year starts Saturday sundown. And this calendar starts for the new year, what they call the new month or new moon. What? It starts Saturday sundown, March 11th. That's the first day of the year. So how can it be wrong? So brothers and sisters, beware. You have a demon on wheels operating, just the bane of the existence of just focusing on the church and putting our name and her titles and all that so that her face can pop up amongst our teachings. I mean, it's almost an obsessive serial troller from hell. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for the class, the Apostles' Doctrine, and who is Christ. The true doctrine according to the Bible. What did the apostles teach? What did Christ command us teach? Well, you will know with the lesson we're about to do called Week 10, the Apostles' Doctrine, and the identification of who is Christ. Shalom.